been out. Yeah, John can't play for a couple of days.
Who's won the World Series.
Showtime.
But he couldn't drive on regular.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Mount Olive Township Workshop and Council Meeting for September 4th, 2018. If you would please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silence for all those men and women that serve us, protect us, and have paid the ultimate sacrifice. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Susan, would you read the Open Public Meetings Act, please?
According to the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting has been given to the Daily Record. Notice has been posted in the Municipal Building, 204 Flanders Drakestown Road, Bud Lake, New Jersey, and notices were sent to those requesting the same.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mr. Amianda?
Here.
Mr. Ferrante?
Here.
Mrs. Labow?
Here.
Mr. Mania? Mr. Stewart?
Here.
Mr. Roman? Mr. Castro?
Here. I'd like to recognize Ricky Granberg, who is here going for his Eagle Scout. We welcome you. We're going to move the introduction of the superintendent, because I don't believe he's here yet. Working on that. Proclamation. Mayor, you have a proclamation for
I do.
prostate cancer.
I do. Office of the Mayor proclamation proclaiming the month of September 2018 as Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. Whereas this year approximately 164,690 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in the United States alone every year. That's one man every 3.2 minutes, and roughly 29,430 die this year from the disease, which is one man every 18 minutes. And whereas in New Jersey, an estimated 5,430 new cases of prostate cancer will be diagnosed, and an estimated 750 deaths will occur in 2018. And whereas men with relatives, father, brother, son, with a history of prostate cancer are twice as likely to develop the disease. And whereas prostate cancer is most commonly diagnosed cancer in American men and the third leading cause of cancer death behind lung and colon cancer. And whereas 1 in 9 men are diagnosed with prostate cancer in his lifetime, 1 in 6 African American will develop prostate cancer in his lifetime. Overall, African American men are 1.7 times more likely to be diagnosed with and 2.3 times more likely to die from prostate cancer than white men. Whereas veterans who are exposed to herbicides like Agent Orange are at increased risk for developing prostate cancer and are more likely to have an aggressive form of the disease. And whereas education regarding prostate cancer and early detection strategies is critical to saving lives, preserving and protecting our families, as well as the economic and social burden of prostate cancer is huge on families. And whereas if caught early, prostate cancer has a 5-year survival rate of nearly 100%. However, for late-stage prostate cancer, the 5-year survival rate is 29%. And whereas all men are at risk for prostate cancer, and we encourage the citizens of Mount Olive to increase the importance of prostate screenings. This is signed and sealed at the Mount Olive Township Municipal Building by Robert Greenbaum, Mayor.
Thank you. Board of Ed President Liz Ouimet is here to introduce the new superintendent.
Thank you. I'd like to introduce our new...
Fortunately, you got to go to the
You got to go to the microphone. Yeah,
State your name and address.
for the record.
Oh, my goodness.
I know the struggle.
Oh, wait, this is for you. This is Liz Ouimet, 6 Tracy Lane, Bud Lake. I'm here to introduce our new superintendent, who will be officially starting October 10th of this year. We are very proud of his prestigious past accomplishments. We look forward to his future endeavors and what he's going to bring forward to Mount Olive. So, with that, Dr. Robert Zawicki.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That was a wonderful introduction. I'm honored to be selected and named and appointed by the Board of Education as your next superintendent of schools. I truly believe that when you dig deep and you look at high-performing school districts, one of the things that is apparent in those districts is a symbiotic relationship between the schools, the Board of Education, and the local township and the mayor. The community that I'm currently serving in right now in Weehawken, I have a fantastic relationship with the mayor and the town council there. There are so many things that we work together on shared services, even community events, like we have Weehawken Day down on the waterfront and things like that. Where the school district never participated, now they fully participate. So I look forward to many years of collaboration. I look forward to your input during my entry plan. As the board president stated, I start on October 10th. So between now and then, I kind of have a foot in both worlds. But once I am here and on the ground October 10th, I'll be making time to meet with each of you, to hear your input about the schools, and to hear the history of where Mount Olive has been, to find out where we are now, which is one of the most high-performing lighthouse school districts in the state of New Jersey, and listen to your aspirations for where you think we can go, so we can not only maintain this fantastic reputation that we have and fantastic experience for our students, but enhance it and keep it going for decades to come. So thank you so much for welcoming me. I really, really appreciate it, and I look forward to working with you, like I said, for many, many years. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming. Before you leave, I wanted to make sure that you met Ricky Grambert, who's one of your 7th graders. And
Pleasure to meet you, and I'm proud that you're a Boy Scout. I myself am an Eagle Scout, and my kindergartner is just joining Boy Scouts this year. So that's great that you're here, and that's a huge component of my upbringing, and I think that's great. So it's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. We
Best of
look
luck to
forward.
you.
Thank
Yep,
you.
best of luck. Look forward to working with you. Welcome. Bye, Liz. You leave?
I think we are ready. You got it?
You have it? All right. You look me up.
You know what, you can leave it with.
Email it to.
Yeah, that's good.
We have it.
Oh, we have it?
Congratulations. Thank you so much. Congratulations, wonderful. Thank you.
I'm the township attorney.
Yes.
We actually got an email today from the Board of Education that we were spreading your personal information all over the place while you were still here, but absolutely not true. It was only to half the town.
Thank you. Item for discussion is dumpsters and car shelters.
Thank you, Council President. Several meetings ago, Councilwoman Laybow asked administration to review the town code as it refers to dumpsters and the car shelters to see if there's any regulations in our current code to regulate those. And currently, there are none. So we drafted some language for you to consider. It's simple language to be inserted into 2 of the chapters for roll-off dumpsters and for the property maintenance code, which should address Councilwoman's concerns. So we've attached those draft ordinances for your consideration, and if you have any questions or comments.
Mr. Roman?
There we go.
I think this is just so that I don't talk, right? Away from mine. Okay.
All right, no more.
Try it again. How does this ordinance stack up to any other ordinances with, in other towns? Are we like on par, or are we being overly aggressive, or not enough?
I haven't compared it to other towns. This is just something that the zoning officer and I, with legal counsel, put together to take care of the councilwoman's concerns. So I haven't reached out to any of the surrounding towns.
And I did look at a few other ordinances, and I think it's sort of well-balanced, middle of the road. Some towns, I think, are very aggressive, some don't touch it at all. I think this probably strikes a good balance to have some regulation without being overly onerous.
Yeah, seems pretty straightforward.
Yep.
Pretty simple, right?
It looks reasonable, too.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
clean. It's just a point to keep them so they're not there for too long of a
Yep.
period without renewal. Anyone else have anything on that?
So the ordinances will be on the
On
next
the-
meeting for first reading.
Yeah, good job, because it looks reasonable.
Yeah.
I just want to
Give us
ask,
labor.
and Chuck was on vacation this week. Did
Mhm.
he review this
He did.
also? And
He's
he's
in
good?
agreeance with it,
He's
yep.
good with this?
Yes.
Okay, good. Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Andrew, the 2019-20 Mel employment practices.
Thank you. Every 2 years, we're required through, as JIF members, to adopt the MEL's model employment practices. This year, there are 4 mandatory changes that pertain to protections against discrimination and accommodations for breastfeeding employees, modifications to the communication media policy, modifications to the Open Public Records Act, and overtime compensation. If you remember, before Bob left, he made sure that the current handbook had all the required language, so these are 4 new ones to adopt. What he didn't have time to do was to review all of the current policies that are stored on our online system, which our office has gone through, and also make sure that those changes are incorporated into this manual. At the same time, we took it one step further, and we put together several other recommendations to be considered for the new policy. And those are included in your memo.
Okay, anyone? Thank you.
Okay, so there'll be a resolution adopting the new manual.
Thank you. We have 8 resolutions. Speaking of resolutions, does anyone have any questions on resolutions? Nope. Seeing none, do we have any old business? Seeing none, do we have any new business? What's this one? Did I miss that? We have one ordinance for first reading. Thank you. Anyone have any questions on that one? There was no old business, no new business. Anyone from the, Ms. Lebo?
I
New
have
business?
New business. It's sort of new business. Just with the whole dumpster thing, I started thinking about, so a lot of people just don't really understand like what's allowed, what's not allowed, that type of thing. And I don't know, I was thinking maybe if there was a monthly paper that went out, maybe we could start, introducing, where would you go if you wanna put up a fence? Who do you contact? What do you do? And I mean, people should know where to go, but I think a lot of people just aren't really sure where to
Good
go.
idea.
And it's really funny when they say, oh, I didn't really want to go to town hall. Why not?
Yeah, they don't know.
It's like they're afraid, and they shouldn't be afraid. Our doors are open, everybody's very friendly.
They
But-
might be able to create a sheet that tells people certain things and keep it out there.
Yeah, just the way I'm thinking about it, the information's available, it's on the website and everything else, but when people are looking in the paper and they see it, it brings it to their attention.
And simple, where to put it, what do I do for a fence, what do I do for this?
Right,
It's-
nice.
People don't know where to go, I understand.
Yeah, that's what I was
We can
just
figure that out.
thinking if we could do that periodically, just
When we
to-
revamp the website, one of the categories will be those simple,
Questions?
the
Yeah,
frequently
but-
asked questions.
Yeah, which are
Yes,
good. Where to
which
do
is
that.
good, but I was also thinking of something where people are in there, everybody has a certain library in their homes, and if they're opening up the paper and they happen to see it, it triggers your.
I'm sure we can figure that out.
I'm just thinking of,
Correct.
trying to reach out to every
Right. And more
possible
information, the better.
communication. Thank
It's
you.
not the library with the rolling paper, right?
Not that one,
All right, thank you.
You know which way to put that on the.
Anyone from the
website,
public
don't
wish to be heard at this time? Seeing none, close to the public. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
you? So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None? Open up the Mount Olive Township Council meeting for September 4th, 2018. Susan, please read the Open Public Meetings Act.
According to the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting has been given to the Daily Record. Notice has been posted in the municipal building, 204 Flanders Drakestown Road, Bud Lake, New Jersey, and notices were sent to those requesting the same.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mr. Amianda?
Here.
Mr. Ferrante?
Here.
Mrs. Labow?
Here.
Mr. Mania? Mr. Stewart?
Here.
Mr. Roman?
Here.
Mr. Nacastro?
Here. Mr. Amianda, would you move for approval of the minutes from the August 21st workshop and public meeting, please?
Yes, Mr. President. I make a motion for approval of minutes of previous meetings on August 21st, 2018, work session and public meeting. Absent was Daniel Amianda.
Second.
Any discussion?
Roll call, please.
Mr. Amianda? Are you
Abstain.
right?
Abstain.
Mr. Ferrante?
Yes.
Mrs. Labow?
Yes.
Mr. Stewart?
Yes.
Mr. Roman?
Yes.
Mr. Nacastro?
Yes. We have 20 pieces of correspondence. Does anyone have any questions on those? Seeing none. Next item on the agenda for first reading is ordinance number 24-2018 with a second reading on September 18th, 2018. Mr. Ferrante?
Sure, I move that ordinance number 24-2018 be introduced by title and passed on first reading, and that a meeting will be held on September 18th, 2018 at 7 p.m. at the Municipal Building, 204 Flanders Drakestown Road, Bud Lake, New Jersey, for a public hearing, consideration of second reading, and passage of said ordinance, and that the clerk be directed to publish, post, and make available said ordinance in accordance with the requirements of the law.
Second.
Any council discussion? Anyone from the public? Close to the public. Roll call, please.
Mr. Amianda?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrante?
Yes.
Mrs. Lebaw?
Yes.
Mr. Stewart?
Yes.
Mr. Roman?
Yes.
Mr. Nacastro?
Yes. We have 8 resolutions, consent resolutions. Anybody wish to move any to non-consent? Seeing none, Mrs. Lebaw, would you move consent resolutions 1 through 8, please?
Thank you, Mr. President. I move consent resolutions 1 through 8.
Second.
Anyone from council have any questions or comments? Anyone from the public wish to be heard? Seeing none, close to the public. Roll call, please.
Mr. Amianda?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrante?
Yes.
Mrs. Lebaw?
Yes.
Mr. Stewart?
Yes.
Mr. Roman?
Yes.
Mr. Nacastro?
Yes. Mr. Stewart, would you please move the bill list?
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the bill list be moved for adoption and final passage.
Second.
Any discussion? Anyone from the public? Seeing none, close to the public. Roll call, please.
Mr. Amianda?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrante?
Yes.
Mrs. Lebaw?
Yes.
Mr. Stewart?
Yes.
Mr. Roman?
Yes.
Mr. Nacastro?
Yes. Administrative reports. Do we have anything from administration?
I have some. First, I got a letter from Chief of Police Martin McFarland from Rockaway Township. It's to Steve Beecher. Dear Chief Beecher, on behalf of the men and women of the Rockaway Township Police Department, I would like to take this opportunity to extend our thanks to you and the members of your department for the assistance given to us during the funeral services for our late Mayor Michael Datchison. It was only through the combined efforts of all of the involved departments that our late mayor received the farewell that he so deserved after his many years of dedicated service to the Rockaway Township community. Please inform your officers who participate in the various details that this department has received nothing but praise from the officials and citizens who observed their conduct and professional bearing. The comments from the late mayor's family were also highly complimentary. In closing, I would again like to extend our deepest gratitude to your officers and yourselves. If the Rockaway Township Police Department can ever be of assistance to you in the future, please do not hesitate to contact us. I've been advised that Officer Lonnie Elbaum and Detective Herring assisted with road coverage, and Sergeant Carlstrom assisted with traffic for the procession. So once again, our police department makes us proud in terms of their daily efforts on all of our behalf, and not just ours, but our surrounding communities. This Tuesday, September 11th, we will once again have a very brief 9/11 memorial ceremony at Turkey Brook Park at 8:30 a.m. Wednesday, September 12th, there'll be another job fair in partnership with Mountaintop Church, located at 6 Norwright Road, Hackettstown, from 10 to 2. If you have any questions, you can contact Pastor Matt Jones or Lisa Brett, obviously in the mayor's office. There's no fee to participate. Thursday, September 13th, I invited Dr. Denise Novacki, our first responders, our Board of Education, and the mayor of Paramus, other dignitaries, their council, and the Paramus Board of Education to the Memory Garden up at Turkey Brook. We will meet at Town Hall at 10 a.m. and then proceed to Turkey Brook Park for the presentation of a tree and a plaque with respect to the Paramus bus accident which happened in Mount Olive Township. So hopefully many of you can attend. It should be a rather brief ceremony, but an important ceremony.
One thing to add, yesterday our pool season came to an end. It was a huge success. We exceeded our revenues and memberships, and that's a big accomplishment since we only had 1 month to to sell those memberships. Our Recreation Department put out a survey for all members to get input, and I'll be meeting with Center Court in the next few weeks to hopefully enter into a multi-year agreement moving forward.
Could you send us a copy of that survey?
Sure.
Very good. Anything else?
Yep.
Okay. Do we have any old business? Do we have any new business? Ms. Lehman?
With the new, the board members, the board position that's opened up for the Board of Health, should I bring it up during my Board of Health report, or should we talk about it
I
now?
guess you could bring it up now if it's new business, right? We have to,
Yeah, it's new business.
yeah.
Dr. Ken Ross has resigned from the Board of Health. He's moving. And so we need to fill that position. It is a council appointment. And it's only till the end of this year, December 31st, 2018. And then, you know, we'd go into our next appointments thereafter. So one of the, talking of Dr. Novaki, one of the suggestions I was going to suggest possibly, you know, asking Dr. Novaki if she would like to take that position, or if anybody has any suggestions and we can discuss it.
When do we have to have the appointment by this year?
We did, you know, in talking with Trevor, I mean, if we want to, if we can fill a position before the end of the year, that would be great. There's only 3 more meetings before the
Right.
end of the year, so it's not really super critical. We're kind of winding down.
Are there
a
any
little bit.
qualifications with regard to that particular position?
No.
Are there any qualifications with respect to any of the positions?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Yes, that one happens to be, if I'm correct in my, remembering, that one was actually the public member. And all you have to do is show that you have an interest in, you know, health-related issues. At the time when Dr. Ross went in, Eugene Teresa
Yeah.
had that position, then Dr. Ross took it over, so. Right now we have, and he was a dentist, and Dr. Abrams is a dentist. We have all of, you need to have a nurse, we have that, we have a pharmacist, so we have all the positions that, you know, we have, that somebody's filling the
We need someone
positions.
who has an interest to.
Yeah, just a genuine interest in the
Right.
community and in health issues, and you have to be you have to live in town, that kind of a thing. The only one that doesn't have to live in town is the doctor. And
Right, I
that's
saw that, yeah.
Dr. Michio is, and he, you know, he has his practice in town, he just doesn't live in town. Everybody else has to live in town for the board, so.
Is that done by a simple appointment with our council? We just bring it up and vote on it? Is that the way it
Yep.
works? You don't need anything more than that?
Nope, nope. don't
So I
need-
guess for the next meeting then, I guess, we should, if we have any suggestions, we'll
If
send
you,
them
and
to you.
talk to
If
the
not-
people and see if they're interested.
Right, and then if
And
not,
If not, we'll just do it in
we'll
January.
bring it up or whatever. I mean, whoever has one.
I can tell you that Margot Steinmark lives down in Clover Hill, has been very active in terms of the health concerns related to the Mintex. She
Mhm.
might have an interest in terms of,
Oh, that's good to know, yeah.
if the council so desires, we can reach out to her to find out whether or not she has an interest in
Mhm.
applying for the position.
Yeah.
That would be good.
Give us 1 or
Yeah.
2 people at least to see if they're interested.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's, yeah.
That
that's
works, then
where
we'll
we're
bring
at.
it. Okay.
So, and Dr. Ross was really surprised. He didn't think his house was gonna sell that fast. He sold his business and his house sold,
Yeah.
and he thought it was gonna
Good
be
for
a
him.
couple of months before he was on his way.
Good for him.
And he will be missed, him and his wife, and we thank him very much for all his years of dedicated service.
Yeah, been there a
So,
while.
could we do a resolution thanking him too? Do we do that when board members leave?
I don't know.
That would be.
I guess you could. I don't know.
I mean, he's retiring, he's been, I don't even know how many decades he's been in the community.
Well, why don't we find out?
Yeah. Yeah, get a little history on him. Trevor's away this week, but when he comes back, we
Yeah, we'll
can,
find out. Let's see what we can do.
thank you.
Thank you. Any legal matters, Sue?
Yes, I have a brief update on the Cambridge recovery matter, although you'll be getting a more detailed memo from our office. You'll probably recall that our office filed an order to show cause in the matter, and I just wanted to advise you that we were successful in getting temporary restraints from the judge, which means that they can continue to operate, but they cannot bring in any additional residents at this time. The order to show cause is scheduled for late September, so it's returnable then. And again, the goal here is just compliance. Our understanding is that they do not have a license from DCA yet. and there has been no application for permits, but we will
The group
provide
home
you.
up in the K-Hop development.
I'm sorry?
This is the group home in the K-Hop development, off of 206.
Yes. Recovery group.
Sure.
Are the residents in that area, have they been notified of the pending legal matter? Or
They're
have they
aware.
been kept but are we keeping them up to date?
They're aware. I had a discussion with one of the board members who was aware of the fact that we've gone in on an order to show cause this weekend.
So we'll have more details for you in a more formal memo.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Council reports, Mr. Amianda, anything on seniors or Board of Ed?
Yes, next Board of Education meeting will be September 17, 2018, 6:30 p.m. at Administration Building, Flanders. Board of Education chose Dr. Robert R. Zwiski to be the new Mount Olive Township Superintendent of Schools. He is a graduate of Mount Olive High School, class of 2001. I am happy for him because I was a member of Mount Olive Board of Education when he graduated. Mount Olive schools opened for education today, September 4, 2018. Schools opened peaceful. There were no problems on the first day of school opening. Mount Olive Senior Citizen Club held its business meeting today, 9/4/2018 at 11:30 a.m. Agenda included approval of Treasurer's report, Secretary's report, speakers from Paragon assisting living, and fire marshals were also on the agenda. Seniors appreciated fire safety tests, which was conducted by fire marshals. Seniors passed fire safety test. According to the fire marshal, there were 90 people in the building, and all were outside the building in a minute and a half. Fire marshals distributed random test kits. And on the whole, speaking to seniors are very happy and appreciative of what the town is doing for them.
Thank you very much. Mr. Ferranti, anything on environmental Laker Library?
Nothing until next meeting.
Mr. Stewart, anything on economic or community action panel?
Community Action Panel doesn't meet again until this month. They've been off for the summer. And Economic Development's been meeting, and I've raised a large concern, especially with Jeff, who chairs it, on the low turnout and participation of his team. There's another meeting coming up this month, as well as there's a special joint meeting with the Mount Olive Chamber one in October with all the senior managers of the largest businesses.
Thank you. Ms. Labow, anything on open space, Board of Health, or stigma?
Open Space meets next week. I went to a meeting this past week that Lisa Brent was at, and Andrew, Claudia. We were all at the meeting for the Board of Health. It was our coalition meeting for assets for community health assessments. And it was a really great turnout. There was 30 people there, and the people who were invited to attend were members from the Board of Education, Board of Health, Town Council, Lions Club, Key Club, Kiwanis, churches, PTAs, and so on, Senior Club, the food pantry ladies, Sue, I think her name is.
Yes.
And it was just a really great turnout, and what the goal of it is to try and make sure that Mount Olive Township is addressing all of the health needs in the community, whether it's physical, mental, whatever help they need, that people know where the resources are located to go and get them, and so on and so forth. So this was the first meeting of our partnership coalition, and we will be meeting every other month. It is the statistics that they're working with, you remember a couple months ago, we all took that survey for, Derek had come in from the health department and asked us, well, this is the results. They don't have all the results back yet. Matter of fact, Dr. Novaki, she was there, and she's gonna help with compiling all the data and analyzing it. So it's very, very interesting to see everybody. It's like everybody had like their own little job with the community, doing this, that, and the other, and everybody just sort of all came together, and it was, Trevor and Samantha, they had a little bit of a hard time keeping the meeting on track because everybody had so much input. It was wonderful. So I'm looking forward to it being a very successful part of our community. And when I go, once a month we have our meetings for our accreditation and our health accreditation, and this plays into it as well. So there's a bunch of pieces to it, so good stuff, all good stuff.
Sounds like when you get a lot of good turnout like that, it's
And-
always good.
And also, the other good part is like we've been working with the stigma-free, that plays into this also. So it's like all of it comes together.
Thank you. Mr. Roman, anything on recreation or Pride?
Nothing on Pride. Recreation meets next week.
Thank you. Anyone from the public wish to be heard at this time? Seeing none, close to the public. Any council comments? Mr. Amianda?
None.
Mr. Ferrante?
None.
Ms. Leibau?
I just want to welcome Mr. Amianda back and hope you had a good trip, successful with that you go every summer with your school in your home country, which,
Kenya.
Kenya. And it was good this year?
Yes.
Way to go. Very good. And also I want to say I went to the Food Truck Festival last week. It was excellent. It was jam-packed. I couldn't believe how many people were there. And you know, some of the lines, there had to have been at least 100 people in line for the empanadas. Yeah.
People
And
like food trucks, surprisingly.
they just, yeah, surprisingly, as long as they're located in areas that are easy to get to and they don't risk people's businesses, other people's business. No, but it was really, really, really nice. And and everybody's smiling. I mean, it just was really a good time. So even with the lines that were going on, everybody's still happy and smiling. It was just a great time. So I want to thank our recreation department and our administration office and our police force for once again having an absolutely phenomenal event here in Mount Olive. Thank you.
Mr. Stewart?
And none tonight.
Mr. Roman?
I too want to welcome back Mr. Amianda. Glad to see that you were not eaten by an animal. And I too have to commend our recreation administration. Once again, our food truck, I think is the talk of the county. So we have definitely set the bar high, and other towns will soon be replicating that. And that's all I have.
And welcome back, and thank you all. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So
Oh,
moved.
happy birthday to Mr. Councilman Roman.
Oh, it's coming up, that's right. Happy
Yay.
birthday, soon enough, gonna be 30 again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Motion to
Plus
adjourn.
something.
Second.
Motion, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you for coming. Good luck with the scout project.